secrets will help you to maintain your mental health. Psychiatrists are crazy doctors. Perhaps you wish a psychiatrist's sentences that are heard lots. So mental disease has become a disgrace to its owner and family, as if the soul doesn't get sick because the body gets sick. But recently, unfortunately, if we glance around today on TV or on social networking sites, and in some academies, institutes and universities, we found a good interest within the topic of mental and psychological state, an interest that focuses thereon. Psychological state equals the health of the body and encourages visiting a psychiatrist like all physician for an organic disease just in case of need for that. Also, despite all of this, many don't seek to require care of their mental state after they need it, perhaps thanks to beliefs that are still deeply rooted in them about the sensation of deficiency towards mental illnesses, or they'll consider psychological treatments in places of rest for the velvet layer. Not everyone seems to be able to visit spa resorts or practice horse therapy, or perhaps the scout pays the psychiatrist. Today we've compiled some practices that may facilitate your maintain your mental state, the foremost acceptable and least fearful way to form the concept of mental state we do, and not just something we speak about. Make a brave decision and unencumber daily to require care of your mental state once you feel you would like it. Did you recognize that dedicating a full day to taking care of your mental state and relieving it of stress will cause you to feel refreshed and rejuvenated and can inevitably increase your productivity? But does one think that you just are selfish, or that emptying these days will accumulate your responsibilities? Well, why don't you concentrate on it as a preventive day against diseases? Once you give yourself daily to relax and recuperate, you give your body an opportunity to Try doing something new before bed, rather than watching the series on Netflix. When we are wont to staying up late, some people may watch several episodes of a series until they're tired and move to sleep, and a few people may browse all social media to bring sleep. If you're one among them, what does one consider trying something new before you sleep? You'll read a lightweight book, little novel, story, or maybe children's stories, draw, color, or call your mother or your friend and consult with him. Maybe you won't to watch the series until you fell asleep and slept, but it's time to try and do something else, and you'll. Not only does one practice your hobbies on holidays, but make it an area in your daily routine. Sometimes we tend to be more relaxed on holidays and vacations because we don't consider the responsibilities we've got, so we replace visiting the gym with visiting other activities like running, swimming, family visits, or with friends. Also, many folks tend to show off their work phones, or perhaps postpone or not reply to them, and postpone their response to emails, all with the intention of getting the foremost pleasure in an exceedingly specific time. So why not do those joyful things in our daily routine? A visit to an older close friend, going together to do a close-by restaurant, or going for an unexpected outing. The foremost important thing is to prevent answering calls and business messages a minimum of from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. All of this might reduce your feeling of stress. 10 tips to assist you relieve stress and fatigue. Quite a little meditation. Yes, I do know that you simply aren't an educator of yoga, which you'll probably ignore this paragraph. But what you are doing not know is that there are many studies that have proven the positive effect of meditation on the brain, which in some cases it will be a substitute for drug therapy. So why not give yourself an opportunity and experiment for less than 2 minutes? Come on, sit quietly and breathe slowly. Don't give some thought to anything. Just target the sound of your Slightly change your diet. Sometimes we tend to eat after we feel stressed, and unfortunately, the foremost that we consume is sugar, whether sweets or soda water or others. Some also tend to drink coffee and other caffeinated drinks that increase stress. So it's better to interchange all of that with foods that contain water-soluble vitamin, like many vegetables, especially citrus fruits, Foods that contain potassium like bananas and salmon to scale back pressure. Also eat foods rich in magnesium found in leaves. Get someone's help after you don't seem to be doing well, whether or not it's not worth it. Well, you are doing not must reject the thought immediately. I didn't tell you to travel to the psychiatrist after you feel a negative feeling, but if you're inquiring some mood changes a long time ago and commenced affecting your everyday life, we encourage you to hunt help and spread your feelings to either your sucker, a psychotherapist or a doctor in study level. Inquire about psychologists, whether or not you're thinking that you'll not need them once you've read this text. This implies that you simply are aware enough to contemplate that the visit of the psychiatrist is like several visits to the regular doctor, so there's no need for you to gather the names and addresses of psychiatrists in your area and to get assessments and opinions on each doctor. You are doing not must visit it, but consider keeping this list as a primary aid kit that you simply will use pro nata. How does emotional intelligence get enough sleep and stop pretending to be busy? When it involves studying, working or the other duties, we discover the time to try and do it, even at the expense of our rest time. But it's time for you to require more care of your sleep. After you don't sleep adequately, you may not only have a messy effect on your work and your life, but it'll inevitably negatively affect your mental and physical health. Moreover, it'll also increase stress and nervousness. And to induce a cushy sleep, you've got to prevent eating caffeine several hours before your sleep and take a look at to stay your bedroom dark, quiet and warm. Reduce your exposure to artificial lights, especially the blue light from them. They contribute to reducing the substance melatonin liable for sleep. And don't forget to activate. Write some positive phrases for yourself. We are people made from emotions, and words affect us greatly. If we are friendly with our friends, the grocery seller, and therefore the remainder of the people, why should we be kind to ourselves? Write messages for yourself, either with phrases that motivate you or with words of songs you like, so put them in an exceedingly small jar or hang them on your locker or in your office.